see, what's today? Tuesday? I think it's no. It's Wednesday. Can't even keep track. It's too early for me to know what day it is. I am driving at the crack of ass because people do not get their animals spayed and neutered. One of the cats, we have a couple of interlopers, but one of the ones who comes around and starts fights with my mother's colony cats that she feeds is trapped. And I am taking him to the vet. Every time we have to do this, it's $70. And that's cheap. You know, and we have to, it's a whole thing with this vet because they're so cheap. Excuse me. I still have morning frog. It hasn't worn off yet. I've only been awake for an hour and a half, I think. Anyway, this vet doesn't take appointments because they do strays and trapped cats, you know. They do the whole TNR thing, they tip the ear, whatever. People can say that that's cruel, I don't care. You have to be able to tell which cats have been trapped so they don't get trapped again. So that's why they do it. You have to show up and hope that you're going to get a spot because they have a certain number of feral cats that they will neuter or spay on a daily basis, and they don't do it on Fridays, and they were closed on Monday because of the holiday, and then we figured that they would be extra busy on Tuesday because they were closed for 3 days, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm going on Wednesday, and I have to get there. I've been to this one before. Stupid frog. You have to get there. I have to get there at least an hour before they're going to open because a line starts to form, and everybody's got their cages with their trapped cats in them, you know. And it's insane every time I've been there how many people show up with a trapped cat, or more than one. Some people will show up with, you know, 5 or 6 of them. I want my window open, but there's a car wash right there making a bunch of noise. Anyway, I am in rush hour traffic because of this whole ordeal. Fortunately, I'm going the opposite direction most people are going. I mean, there's a good chunk of people who are going the same direction I'm going. I'm heading west in Phoenix. For anybody who lives here and knows, most people are heading east right now. You know, toward the center of town or downtown or whatever. I am heading west toward nothing. So, toward where there used to be farms and stuff like that, and they've all been turned into subdivisions, you know. Anyway, I have to get there. They open at 9, so I have to be there by 8 just to make sure I secure a spot and hope that not too many people have gotten there ahead of me. I think she said they've upped the number because it used to be 4 cats per day that they would do that were feral. They do regular pets but then they also take in a certain number of feral animals. And I think she said they've increased it to 10 per day on the ferals. So I don't know if the number of normal domesticated cats has dropped that are going in to get spayed and neutered, which is not a good sign, or you know, if most of the people out in this area have gotten it taken care of. I don't know. You know, for anybody that is getting an animal, you need to spay and neuter your freaking animals. They don't need to be having babies. And cats can, I don't know anything about dogs. I know nothing about dogs, so I can't speak on that. But cats can get pregnant when they're very young, and that's bad for them. You know, the poor little females. You can get your cat spayed, I think, once they weigh 2 pounds. So, you know, get it done. Same with the males, and getting them spayed and neutered they go in the morning, they come home in the afternoon. It's harder on the females because it's, major surgery. They're taking out part of their insides, but, it needs to be done. It needs to be done because you have people just dumping their animals because they can't afford to get them spayed or neutered, or they're just being irresponsible, because this is the cheapest one. The one that I'm going to now is the cheapest one in the entire valley for spay and neuter, and the neuters are $70. And that's the cheapest. There's another one that's not too far from the house, but it's $110. And it's worth the $40 to drive all the way over here, So, I don't know. I don't know, but it's irritating. People, you need to, take care of your animals, get them fixed. A lot of places, Maricopa County used to, you could go online and request a coupon if you're low income. I don't know if they still do that or if there's any programs out there. I know there have been. So, check around. If you're low income, excuse me, frick. I should have waited to start my tirade until after my frog was gone, but I'll probably be there by then. So, anyway, check around, go online. Sometimes there can be some financial assistance. I know that there's a van that goes around to the different PetSmart locations. At least here in Maricopa County there was. And they would do so many spare neuters. You go to the parking lot of whatever PetSmart they were going to show up at and, wait. And you have to get there when it's still dark out. I mean, if you want your animal fixed, it's basically free. And I think it is free. Free or very low cost, spay and neuter. Maybe the only thing you have to pay for is the pain meds. I don't know. But it's really cheap. And, you can look for programs like that, I do know that people not getting their animals spayed and neutered costs everyone else. And it costs the animals. They can't help it, They can't help that they were born and that people were stupid and irresponsible. And that they have to go out looking for food, number one. And number two, their natural instinct is to mate. So they're, as soon as they get old enough, I mean, we've had cats, not us personally, but we've trapped cats that were in season that didn't even look 6 months old. They're very young, and their little bodies are not built to have kittens at that age. There's just too many. There's too many. There's no reason for it. If everybody was responsible and got their animals fixed, this wouldn't happen. Just people think, oh, it's so cute. It's a little kitten. It's very cute. Blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? They grow up, number one, and they aren't so cute anymore. And then they get pregnant or they go out and start looking for females. And if it's a male and you don't get it neutered, there's a very good chance it's going to start pissing all over your furniture because they mark their territory. They can't help it. It's a natural instinct to mark their territory, and that's just what they do, So then they get thrown outside because they're pissing on everything, and it's not their fault. It's the stupid humans that didn't take them in to get them neutered so that they wouldn't do that. Anyway, I guess that's it for this morning. Done bitching about that. And now this afternoon, I get to drive all the way back over here to pick up this cat because he has to be released back into our neighborhood because that's where he came from. We can't just drop him somewhere. They have to be put back into the area where they're familiar so that they know their way around and you know, and then we have to hope that he stops coming around. First of all, because he got trapped, so maybe it'll scare the crap out of him and he'll just quit showing up. Second, he's not going to be out looking for a female, you know. Now, we don't have any unspayed females, but when the males are out looking for females, they will check everywhere. So they're doing what nature tells them to do. And people are assholes and don't take care of their animals. You know, or people, this is the other thing. This happens in Phoenix a lot. People will move and they just leave their animals. They just leave the cats, they leave them outside, and they just move and leave these animals who've had humans that have been feeding them and taking care of them to a degree, you know. I don't know how good they're taking care of them if they're letting them live outside, but they just go off and move and don't take their animals with them. And then the cats start showing up at other people's houses because they're hungry, you know, or they're friendly because they're used to having people, and it's just a mess. People need to be responsible. Don't just go off and leave them. Don't leave them unneutered, unspayed, because then everybody suffers, including the animals. So, you know, just be a human. Be a nice human. Don't be an asshole human. So I wanted to give an update. When I picked the cat up, it ended up being another $34, I think, because he had a wound on his face from being bitten by another cat, someone he was fighting with, and it was infected, so they had to shave his face, clean it all out, give him an antibiotic shot, and he is currently in the storeroom part of the garage recovering. We're now on day 2, so I'm not sure how much longer he'll be out there, but you know, all of this because someone's cat had kittens, and this guy, you know, and he can't help it, but he's out looking for girls, getting in fights, and hopefully, you know, it'll be better now. But anyway, that is the update for this cat, and I am done with this video. And I'm sorry, but I'm not, because people need to be responsible for their pets, you know, and that's it.